before you say anything, he's the one who actually believes it's bad luck to see his bride on his wedding day. I was just forcing him to adhere to his own tradition. If you got a problem with that, I have a problem with... Oh. It's... you. I didn't even think you could make it. In fact, I thought my fiancé said that you would be a little too busy to even consider making it. A trip. I believe it was to Bulgaria. Or maybe Venezuela. Bless my silly wanting heart, I just can't seem to remember. And I can't seem to remember why it would be a problem. Yeah, I was wondering about that. The honeymoon period seemed a tad short concerning the spoils he's been promising. Talking about the silver and gold bracelets he plans to fill my wrists with might as well be the shackles he's looking to forge me for in this life, and the worst part is, I don't even know if he's good for it. A cage is a cage is a cage is a cage, but if one has to be caged at all, why not let it be gilded? Well, you know how this whole song and dance goes. Some men want a beautiful girl just to hide her away from the rest of the world. To clip a swan's wings, to see to it that such a fanciful bird can never fly again. I bet he wishes I was a swan. Swans made for life. They're even capable of dying of a broken heart, you know. What a dependable creature. Do you suppose this is the capacity that humanity is drawn to them? Or has it always been about looks? The white swan, the black swan, the Madonna, the whore, the lake. You have to wonder if they were angels once. Like us. Though, maybe it's preferable for him under circumstances such as these that my father's not dragging my corpse down the aisle. He might as well be with how clearly excited I am for the happiest day of my life, but the things it would do to his reputation. Which one? Father? Future husband? Both. Neither. That's just how thoroughly I could ruin them for ruining me. I'd be quaking in my heels at the thought if I could find it within my heart to care. Or heal. Singular. Thank you very much for bringing that back to me, but please, just promise me that the heel actually made it halfway down the hall if it didn't lodge its way into his head. If he doesn't consider me an active threat, I at least want to let the implications seep into that thick skull of his. He should know my temper if he plans to marry me. He should know me at all before he plans to marry me. But maybe I'm asking a little too much from him. That I like you? I think that's the only thing he knows about me. Why else would he try to send you halfway across the world? He only knows one thing about me, and that's all he needs in order to either make me the happiest girl in the world or the saddest. He knows my heart, but not a single thing about me. I'd have to laugh if I thought he was worth the mirth, but he isn't. He's mirthless. He's mirthless to me. That's worse than being worthless. I don't want anybody to think for a second that this is anywhere close to the happiest day of my life if I can help it. And as long as I can, I will. Imagine knowing that this is supposed to be the happiest day of your life, and knowing that it can only get worse from here. Do you suppose they simply said that to quell the hysteria of brides like me, in the hopes that they'd shut up if they thought that this was as good as it was ever going to get? Or did they just say that, and the ones who didn't repeat it back to their own daughters got lobotomized for it? I'd make a delightful Rosemary Kennedy. I'm rather acquainted with tragedy. I'm living one right now, actually. Christ, listen to me. I'm raving like a mad woman. At this point, he may actually send me away to the good old rubber room just to shut me up for a while. I certainly would. I mean, send myself away. I would inflict that on an innocent person, of course, but me? I know my crimes. I know what sentence I deserve and which I'm actually willing to serve. I should crack into more of those wine coolers. They dry out my throat like the Dickens, but it's the one thing I know that guarantees that I'll at least experience some modicum of joy. Maybe if I drink enough, they won't force me to recite my vows. It'd be an unfortunate image of the bride having to hiccup her way through those riveting passages, stumbling and slurring. God, they wrote my vows for me. Did you even know that? My husband wrote the words that I'm going to recite to him in front of hundreds of people that are supposed to represent my love of him. He might as well just have written "I love me" 1,000 times over for all that it matters. About how I spotted him across the way from the glimmering of his sweaty muscles, gag, and that he just so happened to work in the same industry as my father because all girls want is to marry their father, thanks for that inside Sigmund fraud, and that I was so taken with him, but I didn't think he'd return my feelings, and then, of course, your apparent deception. Yeah, get this. He wrote a narrative arc for us. A fairy tale for him and you and me, where you swept me off my feet with pretty lies, and I, as his stupid wife, flinched and faltered in the face of glimmering gold ease awaiting me. But get this, he forgave me, because how was I supposed to know any better? I'm just a girl after all. Oh, fuck me. Oh, like I said, he knows one thing that makes my heart sing, but he has me by the melody, and I'm stuck being his stupid bitch for it. It makes me wish I didn't meet you at all, quite frankly. If I didn't know you, I'd still be miserable, but I could hop myself on enough painkillers and wine that I'm sure the heartburn would be indistinguishable from the break. But I've bitten the apple. I know what true love tastes like now, and everything else tastes like sand. Why would I doom myself in ignorance when I could live in enlightenment? I'm not walking down that aisle. You can't make me. Nobody can. And nobody will. Please, just... let's run away together. It's easy. It'll be like The Graduate. No one's watching. No one's paying us any mind at all. You're not even supposed to be here, and I'm the fine china they're going to be gorging themselves off of. No care for how they ruin me so long as they can wash away the stains they leave behind. We could leave. We could just go. Anywhere. Everywhere. I know you might be a little burned on the idea of leaving the country after what he tried to pull on you, but we'd be together this time. He isn't just shipping you off to Australia onto crimes of foolishness anymore. We'd go together and be fools together, and to be a fool wouldn't be a crime at all. I know, because with how delusional I sound, I'd be more likely than most to be arrested for it myself, but we could just go. Anywhere. Everywhere. If I stay here, I'll stay in this dressing room for the rest of my life. I might as well die here if I am to live a life I never wanted, with a man I do not love, for the sake of a father whose interests never pertain to me for as long as his mind didn't falter. Let me put it this way. If I stay here, you're staying here. And if I die in this room, I've supplied you with a more favorable option, waiting where all the other favorable options live. On the other side of the door, where life happens. But when have the odds ever been in our favor? You know my temper. You know me. You know I wouldn't bluff about this.